And the Ducks will kick it away to start us off. On the move from inside his 5. And the returner will be knocked down. So Illinois' return team didn't help matters out much there. And there he is. When you build a tight end, you'd build one just like this, especially with those reliable mitts, Jesse.
Yeah, Reese, he makes big plays in big games. Watch for him on third down in the red zone. He has a chance to leave an impact in this game.
Oh, it's so nice to have such a big body that...
Fires into traffic, intercepted. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
Man, does it get any better than that? Creating a turnover on the very first play of the game. We talk about doing this all week. We talk about we can beat this team. We're going to go out there and execute. And to do it, the first snap, belief, climbing through the roof, baby.
So the Oregon Ducks offense will take the field for the first time. One thing to watch, can this guy get in the quarterback's head and make him take a peek at the rush, David?
Dang, Skippy, that's what you want to do. You want to make this guy a little bit more human and not as much of a game breaker at the quarterback spot. Get some pressure on him, hit him a few times.
He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but he can't hurt you if he's laying on his back. And this defensive end can put him there often.
Operating in the red zone here on second down. Out of the gun, the inside handoff, looking for a crease. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Receivers telling the quarterback what they see. They'll try to move the chains on the ground. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Oregon! Just under 60,000 in this place, but sometimes it sounds like 600,000. An engineering marvel to hold in all this noise.
It's unbelievable. They love their team. They support the Ducks, and they've built traditions and so many teams they should be proud of. Getting them involved early is a great sign for this one.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Quick strike offense on that 3-way scoring drive. And close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Illinois offense returns to the field. Well, let's see if this drive goes better than the last one. They were in and out quickly after the quick pick, David.
Yeah, first play, big mistake, man. Now, let's get this offense in a little bit of a rhythm. Maybe before you open it up again, Palmer, or do you trust him right away?
He seems to me like the guy maybe that just needs to kind of get into the flow of the game. So maybe you get the running game going here and just give him some easy looks to let him get lathered up.
Makes the catch. It's Lee.
The quick passing game does several things. One, it doesn't let the pass rush get you. Those great defensive linemen, the ball's coming out so fast they can't get there. And then what else? It gets me ahead of the sticks. I don't have to worry about getting in long yardage.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And if you turned on the tape last week, you're getting more of the same in the first quarter. This defense last week harassing the QB with 6 sacks. Now getting out the gates in the first quarter and getting there.
He hurls one deep down the left side. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. Going the other way, he's got room. And after making the interception, he takes it inside the 40.
On a cold night, you feel every collision. Blocking, tackling, whatever. Even when you get an interception like you did right there, it still hurts. So the cold will be a factor in this ball game. And how about the defense coming out, making a statement right out the gates?
And it's knocked away and incomplete. The defensive back staying in phase and batting it away.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they've
unleashes one deep. And they can't quite hook up trying to make a completion in the back corner of the end zone. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. On third down, he'll try to pick it up through the air, using the quick game. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down. The Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking to throw it again. Makes his connection. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play. The Ducks want to pick up the tempo. Looking to throw. Pocket starts to collapse. Setting up the screen. Touchdown, Ducks! Reeled it in and just made the house call. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point makes it 14-0. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, right back to your game after we update the nation on this one. Kentucky may not be leaving town with a blowout victory, but they'll take the dub away from Kroger Field every time. The Cats have been racking up road wins since the Bear Bryant days, and they'll get another one today. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings, and the other heads home licking its wounds.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. Ran the ball on first down. Let's see what they do on second. He's looking to throw. Makes the grab. And the defense makes the immediate tackle, but he has enough for the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Looking to go up top on first down. Caught in the backfield. It's Lee. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2. Off play action. Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on third down. To the ground to try to move the chains. That just never had a chance as they controlled the middle of the field and stopped him in the backfield on third down. Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. Gets the first one of the day out of there, and we saw a lot of him in that loss last week, 4 times to be exact. Pretty solid coverage there, and they'll stop him at the 26. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Boy, David, they would love to stack another touchdown on top of that last drive.
And this offense did such a good job on the last drive. Everything in rhythm, moved the ball down the field, didn't make those mistakes, Jesse, and they need to do it again on this one.
Yeah, you're right. They had the defense on their heels. You wonder what sort of communication was going on that sideline. What sort of changes were they able to make, because they got to stop the bleeding right now.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Running back searching for a hole. Defense not budging. He's still able to get 2 to the 29.
Yeah, and the running back didn't get much here, but, you know, you clearly want to always establish the tempo, run the football, be consistent, make that defense physically meet the challenge.
Unloads to the right. Excellent coverage and good use of the hands to knock it away. And the Ducks will bring the punt team onto the field. I wouldn't quite call it a shank, but that's not exactly going to go on the resume reel. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. That last drive fizzled out, Jesse. They had to punt it.
Yeah, they did. And David, they're just going to have to do a better job this time around erasing the mental mistakes.
And just trying to solve the
Running toward the tape. And they were looking for a chunk play, and they got it. The explosive picks up more than 30.
I know it's early in the game, but defensively after that play, you know you have to tackle the catch. When this guy gets the ball in his hands, he is so dangerous after the fact. So it's okay for him to make catches. Just got to get him to the ground quickly.
He's brought down solid pickup, but a little bit short of the first down.
And I love working the slot receivers. And you see so much of that. It's about matchups, right? I can put a fast guy in that slot, maybe get him matched up on a linebacker or a safety. I like working those guys in those matchups. Favorable for the offense for sure.
Makes the grab. It's Brunson. And the catch and run into the end zone. Touchdown, Illinois. And the offense finds a way to cut into this lead, but they still have plenty of work to do.
They do, but that's a big score. You don't want to get late and start getting in the second half where you're fighting to come back by so many points. So great job getting points, get that momentum back on your side so you can come out and do some good things when you get the ball next time.
They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Pulls it, fired complete. And there were no creases or crevices to run through, and they shove him out of bounds. As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Quarterback, quick pass to the receiver. Afterburner's coming. He's at the 30. He's at the 10. And he'll take it to the house. He got loose. Touchdown, Oregon. When that receiver got free, it was all over.
It's so nice to have a receiver like this as a quarterback because you pad my stats. I like those long touchdown passes where I just threw it really short and he did the rest of the work.
They'll try to tack one more on their score. And the extra point pushes the lead to 14. We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. Now the challenge here, they've taken a punch, but they can't let it get out of hand as we start the second. The kickoff unit about to go to work. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. The Illinois offense returns to the field. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way. But, dude, if you put a good drive together, this is a 7-point game. So, Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. Here comes his home crowd as the defense tries to get off the field on third down. Quickly out to the tight end. Good tackle there to stop him short of the first down. It'll bring up a big decision. Illinois lining up to punt this one away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Great contact on that ball as it just misjudges it a bit and muffs it.
And these punt returners want to make big plays, but man, oh man, did he make a big mistake. Flipping the field position, defense flying in on him, and he did not secure the football in that play.
And the quarterback is snowed under.
Well, the one thing we know about this defense is they've got some exotic looks, and they're not afraid to bring pressure from the second level. That time they brought the free safety, he was able to get home and sack the quarterback.
They're bringing heat. He's going to run it. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks. Now facing a 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The quick out. And he's ridden to the ground, but there's also a flag down. Let's check the call. Holding penalties, the ultimate drive killer. We'll see if it costs this offense here. They're facing a 3rd down. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Got him down
awesome job by the quarterback getting first possession.
Put it right on him. Sweet play. Good pickup, and they'll move the chains with the first down. Illinois putting together a really nice drive. From the red zone, looking for a space. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
Well, for this defense, finally, you're seeing pressure on the quarterback. They're outside the top 50 in sacks per game. They've been waiting to find some more consistent pressure to help them win games.
And the pressure is coming in, and they get him again.
Well, I think one of the biggest reasons why this team is finding themselves in the hole here in the first half is this has been a sack party. They can't keep the defense off of their quarterback. They haven't been able to get the ball deep down the field, throwing it with the consistency they want because they can't keep their quarterback standing up straight.
And sure, tackle there to keep them from getting to the first down line. Now on fourth down, they'll try to come away with 3. Knocked it right through, showing that big range from 48 yards out. They'll kick it away after putting up a field goal on that last drive. He'll call for the fair catch here. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. David, they'd love to do what they did last time and put this one in the end zone.
You ain't lying. They did it.
Going deep. Wide open. He makes the catch. Racing down the left side. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Ducks! The mantra is always finish. They're trying to do that here in the regular season with this Week 12 performance. And with the extra point, they're on top by 18.
And the defense lets the big tight end get behind him, and you could see it. When he saw his tight end streaking down the field, he knew he had to throw it up in the air, let him go make a play. He does it. Big play for this offense.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Wide receiver now comes in motion. Quarterback touch pass on the jet sweep. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
Well, I love the aggressive nature of the defense on that play. Everybody playing with eye discipline. They saw the pre-snap motion. They knew who had the football. And you saw guys play with excellent instinct running downhill.
And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. Third and long, backed up inside their 20. Fires to the wideout. And they can't make the play on third down. Illinois runs the punt unit onto the field. 3 and out, and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and they will try to build on what has already been a dominant first-half performance. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Comes out throwing on first down. He looks that one in nicely. They get him down after he makes the catch. The Ducks come to the line in the hurry-up. Looking to pass on second down. Connection to the right. And he breaks into the open. Touchdown, Oregon! And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. This guy's putting the Oregon offense on his shoulders, carrying them however you want, on the ground or through the air.
I mean, so fun to watch when you've got a guy that can do this. And we've seen it with the Ducks in history, man. They've had some great ones that put their team on their shoulders. You need to run it, I'll run it. You need to throw it, I can do that too.
Now they'll line up for what they hope is automatic. And the extra point splits the uprights, and they're up 35-10. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Guys, it has gone final in that enormous top-5 matchup we've been keeping a close eye on. Arkansas was far from the friendly confines of Fayetteville, but still managed to scratch out a win. And there was a lot of chatter this week about this group not being ready. Time to check those receipts, if you know what I mean. Always interesting to see top 5 teams collide, and today was no different. The agony and ecstasy of college football.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Fires downfield. That is just a sideline clinic. Throw, catch, toe drag, everything you want. Now they'll try to cash in this drive. 1st and 10 from the 50. Quickly to the tight end. And he might be known for run fits, but that was a sure and heavy tackle on the tight end. A timeout is called as this offense tries to find a way to get more points on the board before the half. Quarterback now on the run, still looking. And he can find the receiver, and down he goes. Quarterback's got to get rid of the ball. That sack's on him, not the O-line. 3rd down coming. From the gun, wants to pass. He'll get rid of it. Wide open downfield. And he was loose and in the open field and on his way. A tremendous pickup on that one. Illinois coming out with a 1st and 10. They're looking to pass from the red zone. Fires to the tight end. Here's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the 1st half. Line getting set on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Quarterback adapting. And he didn't squeeze it, it's loose. Once that ball was loose, offense didn't have a chance. Defenders everywhere, it's a turnover.
Nice heads-up play by the defense to jump on that ball after he got popped out.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They've got some time to work with here, Jesse, and if they get a 1st down, they might really get aggressive.
I'd be aggressive right out of the gate. I'd be throwing for a 1st down. If I get it, then it's pedal to the metal. I'm in that 2-minute mode and try to score a touchdown or get a field.
But I do think this is a situation where you also have to understand that I have the lead going into the half. I've got the momentum, so don't do anything stupid here.
So what do they have for 3rd and short from their own 23? They'll try to pick up the 1st through the air. Quickly complete. He steps out of bounds, but it will be enough for a 1st down.
On 3rd down, offenses have their plays. What they like in 3rd and short, what they like 3rd and medium, 3rd and long. Great job by the offense having success. Now it's incumbent upon the...
Underneath toasted coverage, got it deep downfield. Touchdown Ducks! That is the ultimate grab and go for the score.
The quarterback does a great job in his decision making. He found the matchup he wanted one-on-one. His tight end's able to stretch the field. He makes the catch, and he does the rest of the work himself, running it into the end zone.
PAT unit on the field. The kick is up and good and puts one more on the lead. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish things off with a big play, 68 yards on the touchdown pass. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. Out of the gun, the running back has it. Banging, slithering, whatever it takes to get that ball up to the 32. The offense burns its 3rd and final timeout of the half. Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on 1st down. It's 2nd and 3. Good job to toss that ball out of bounds and avoid the loss. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. Looking to throw for it. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. Incomplete. He took a shot on the final play of the quarter and couldn't quite find his man. That's going to wrap up the 1st half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update. Just about set for the 2nd half kickoff. Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. They'll open the second half on the ground. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
That's a really good job by the defense, wrapping them up, getting them on the ground, take away that run game, make them one-dimensional, put them in passing situations. Really good job by the defense.
It's complete, and they pick up just a few on that completion.
Yeah, and you see running backs in today's football, they play a wide receiver basically for you, but you got to find a guy that you can throw it to, and you know he's going to catch the ball consistently.
They'll try the run. Nice job to get it past the sticks, and they get him down at the 35. And here on first down, let's see if they keep it on the ground. Power football with the run. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7. The Ducks moving quickly to the line. He'll run it again. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple.
Nice job by this defense. Listen, you got to understand, they're going to run the football. They're going to try to milk the clock, Jesse. They got the huge lead.
Haven't been a lot of good plays for this defense in this game so far, so can they build on that one? Can they create some turnovers here in the second half to get back in this game?
And with that pass right there, dude, he goes over 350 on the day. Nice performance. This QB's been dialed in.
The give to the back. You'll take this every time. 5 yards on the first down play.
I think one of the hardest things to do is stick to the run when it's not working. But it's those runs right there that are the reason why you have to do it, right? You can't get too one-dimensional. Keep slipping those runs in there. Keep getting a little bit of positive yards. Next thing you know, you look up and you might break one of those after you got them a little bit tired.
Really good surge for this offense. They move the chains, and he's got it at the 34. On the option. On the run, and he'll slide to avoid the big hit.
Well, this guy's a weapon, throwing it and running it, and you know he's going to try to hurt this defense with his legs.
It puts so much stress on the defensive line to chase him, and the fact that the play is extended so long.
Yeah, if they've got a spy defensively, if someone's athletic enough to run with this guy, that's going to be maybe a sound move moving forward schematically.
To the air on first down. He's right on target. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few. This defense just can't get off the field. The offense unstoppable. Snags it over the middle. And they'll bring him down, but not before he picks up the first down. And the Ducks come to the line with a new set of downs. Hand off from the shotgun. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. From the gun, running back on the move. Touchdown, Oregon! And the punishment has been extended. Getting set for the point after. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. That is what they mean when they say ball control. A 14-play touchdown drive. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. On the move from inside his 5. And the returner will be knocked down. Here comes the Illini offense back onto the field. They'll leave it with him. Tackle is made at the 22, but a nice 10-yard pickup there on first down from their own 22. He wants to throw. Buys a little time. He'll pull it down and run. And he avoids the hit and slides after the short gain. They'll line up for a second down play. From the gun, running back gets to give. Crosses the 30 to the 31 and a 6-yard pickup. Big third down coming from their own 31. Defense tries to get off the field. They'll try to get it through the air. Quick strike complete. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. Illinois moving it quickly down the field. Leaves it with the back. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Clock winds inside, a minute to play here in the third. Running behind that left side. Just willed his way for a couple out to the 35. Third down conversions are a huge stat, and this one would be a doozy if they can pull it off. From the gun, wants to pass. Looking to take a shot. And here's the third interception of the night. The return there would have just been icing on the cake. They'll just have to settle for the cake at the 23.
Man, I feel for this quarterback. I've been there before. I mean, you're playing at night. It's super cold. It's going to be hard to execute these passes. That one got away from the QB and it was a pick.
Into a mass of giant bodies. We'll call it a 1-yard gain to the 24. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Quick pass on the jet motion. Off he goes. The 40. He's at the 20. Touchdown Ducks! And the stomping has commenced.
And this offense is clicking. Another touchdown. They didn't go far from this drive, but this offense is doing what they want, how they want, when they want.
They'll try to add another to their lead. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. Well, they didn't exactly milk the clock on that drive, did they? 2 plays and into the end zone for the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Final play of the quarter coming. Going up top on first down. With the catch, it's Brunson. They make the stop, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's all about.
Roughing the passer. Defense.
A late hit moves the ball up 15 yards. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. He's gonna pass. Using the quick game. And that defense doesn't allow a cutback, and they get him out of bounds after a short gain. After that last completion, it's 2nd down. He's looking to throw. The sweet feet buy a little time. Short gain on the play before he slides.
Well, great job there by the defense because they weren't able to get him sacked right away, but you saw the coverage in the back end. Nowhere for the quarterback to throw the football. Didn't get the sack, obviously. You don't get the negative play, but you also don't give up a big one. You're feeling pretty good about where you are right now in this drive.
And he'll ramble to the 34 before he's finally knocked down. Illinois coming back to the line with a 1st and 10. He's looking to throw it. They're setting up the screen. They finally get him stopped, but what a good job by that front wall to set up the screen and create some lanes for their running back. Down to the 23 for this 1st and 10. Wide receiver shows motion. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Hawkins. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds. A little bit more to go after that last completion. They'll try to pick it up on 2nd down. Back to the air one more time. Caught behind the line. It's Brunson. A strong tackle and wrap-up from the junior. Illinois puts it in play from the red zone. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. And here comes the field goal unit for the 2nd time tonight. Kick is good. The offense has 3 points to show for the drive. Well, they got 3 back, but that's about all you can say about it. So they were able to put up a 3 spot on that last drive, and now the kickoff team out there as they prepare to put boot to leather. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Quarterback reacting to what the D is showing. They'll keep it on the ground. The clock is on their side. Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Didn't get much on 1st down. It's 2nd and 9. He's looking to throw. Firing to the right, complete. And he's able to bounce off 1 tackle for a solid pickup.
I like the mitts, the big fella coming in with the catch. Hey, running a little bit of a route, showing a little wiggle, getting open, throwing the football. That's what to catch it, big fella.
Got his man on the outside. Oh, it's out! Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery. And he's brought down, and this defense gets the ball back for its own.
Defensive coordinators always preach swatting and batting at the football and trying to punch it out, trying to dislodge the ball from the ball carrier, and boy, they did it right there.
1st down here for the offense. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Unloads to the wideout. Hauls it in. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a 1st down.
And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Looking to move it through the air. Got a man. It's Lee. That throw and catch gets them down to the 6, and the defense is running out of answers. Illinois looking to pay things off on 1st and goal. Wants to pass. Lets it fly. Throw to the end zone. It's picked off. The offense set for a 1st down play. He wants to throw. They've got the screen set up. They make the stop, but not before the screen has hit him for a 1st down, and much more. Really good execution by this offense. They really got things moving on this drive. 2nd play of the drive comes from the 37. Flips it out to the back. And a quick completion, an even quicker loss. The defense was right there to knock him down. Here comes the offense on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Makes his connection. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Really good defense. You know, you're trying to stay as close as you can to all these targets, and most importantly, those open field tackles and getting them on the ground as soon as they catch it. That's a major deal for defenses, and that was a good example there of it.
They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
And the offense comes up short on 3rd down, but I tell you what, they've still had a good day. There's so many positives to point to. I'll be interested to see if they go for it here on 4th down. They don't have to. They got the lead. This offense has put together a nice day, shown a variety of all kinds of things. Now it's just about how they want to finish.
The Illinois offense returns to the field. This thing got out of hand on them, but they'll try to finish with some pride here.
And this one was a beatdown. And there's nothing.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And man, is that just indictment of the day. Your quarterback getting drilled late in the football game. This offense has sputtered. They haven't found any kind of good rhythm. They haven't done things that really gives your coach confidence and makes you want to believe in them. This offense has a lot of work to do before their next football game.
This is a 3rd and long. He's looking downfield to throw. Fires left. And he got a hand in there. Knocks it away. Incomplete. Illinois lining up to punt this one away. returner runs out of real estate as he goes down. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. This is quickly turning into a celebration, Jesse, as they've taken control of this game.
And they should feel good about how they've played. They knew they had to come in here, protect home turf. They've gone out, they've run it well, they've thrown it well, David. Really, so much that this coaching staff can be happy about.
Yeah, and now it's about stat padding, right? Like you could just put up more numbers. You know this game's pretty good. Don't turn it over, don't make a mistake. But this game is well in hand.
Misfired on first down, back to the air on second. Oh, what a spectacular layout and catch.
Well, this offense has just been dialing up explosive play after explosive play. That's a big part of why they have a huge lead at this point. And even in the fourth quarter with that lead, they are still...
He lets one fly deep. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Oregon. And the route is on. That ought to be enough to make this lead insurmountable. And with it, they'll be a perfect 10-0.
And I think in the pre-snap, I think both of these guys were on the same page. They had a look defensively that let them know we can pitch this thing way down the field. I'm going to go run under it and make a big play.
Yeah, when I'm a receiver, I'm like, I'm open, right? I'm going straight down the field. Throw me the football. I got the speed. I can beat this guy. You can tell they've done that so much in practice. They knew it was second nature, and they executed it perfectly.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
All right, guys, a little update on what else is happening in college football this weekend. USC looks like a legit title contender right now. That offense is just having its way. They're up by 16 over Rutgers. Just another week of college football where we've come to expect the...
I want to tell everybody thank you for stopping in and checking out the stream, and I appreciate the new follow over there.
The drive starts.
Let's see if I can see who it is. Let's take a look.
Comes out throwing on first down.
Yeah, it does not show me.
And the pressure was too much. They get
Let's see
him
if I
at
can
the
see it here.
And they get him
New,
again.
I couldn't see who followed. I appreciate the new follow. Thank you.
He is a dude that you know if you give him time, he's going to make plays. But this defense is making sure he's not getting that time.
So now they'll try to mitigate that disaster on second down from the 15. He's looking to throw. He wants a big play here late. And that is his fifth interception, a nightmare he is not waking up from.
And that's such a great job of seeing the play, seeing it unfold, breaking on the football, making the interception, and you will absolutely never forget getting that first career INT, that big play, that big moment.
And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Firmly in control of this game. We'll see if they just try to run out the clock and get out with a victory.
Everybody on offense here should feel really good about their performance today, too. They had a really good game plan coming into this one. They went out and they executed at a very high level.
Yeah, lights out, and this game's over. I'm interested to see the philosophy now. Do we keep chucking the pill and keep trying to score points? Because
And the ball is out. Who's going to get it? Defense just cradling that fumble and securing it. They bring him down, but that great defensive play might be overturned. Let's see what the call is. This offense plenty happy. Result of that play, so they just let the official put that flag back in his pocket and decline the penalty. Offense set on first down. Pressure coming. Discards a man. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play. Line getting set on second down. They're trying to get to it. Unloads it left. How about that play to get a hand in there and force the incompletion? I'm not positive, but that first down marker might be in the next county. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. And it's another interception as his assault on the record book continues. Going the other way, and he's got room. He'll finally go out of bounds, but he was showing off all the skills after that interception. One more play to pad the stats. They'll throw it on first down. Coming after it. Got enough space. And that's how you finish it off. Scoring on the final play of the game doesn't affect the outcome. Just a little cherry on top of the sundae.
And some people might say they should have taken the knee, run the clock out. This offense believes, I'm going to run the football. It's your job to stop it. And they add a rushing touchdown and another 6 to the score.
Well, this one had all the suspense of a bug hurtling his way toward a windshield, and they did splatter them, an absolutely dominating performance.
You got to give the coaching staff a ton of credit. They obviously had their guys ready to play and motivated right from the opening kick. All three phases we saw just spectacular football. No mental mistakes, David. You really can't play better than that.
Nah, it's really fun to do this. Come out and just dominate opponents. Start from finish. Nothing to worry about. You just know you're better. You're going to do you. Put up a bunch of points and win by a lot of points.
That's going to do it for us. For Jesse Palmer, David Pollack, our entire broadcast team, I'm Reese Davis. This has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football. Pacific Northwest, and the flock of ducks that call it home have made this one of the most challenging places for any team to come calling. A late season top 25 matchup on hand with a couple of college football's premier teams preparing to square off. As we'll see, the number 14 team in the country, the Ohio State Buckeyes, taking on the second-ranked team in the land, the Oregon Ducks. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. Time to get this game started. The Buckeyes will kick it away to start us off. He'll start the return inside his 5. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. The Ducks offense takes the field to start this game off. When this guy comes onto the field, David, he seems to bring the it factor with him.
So much fun as a play caller to have a guy you depend on, you trust. You know, Palmer, you're going to get the best out of this young man.
He's also one of those guys, David, who just elevates everybody else around him, right? All 10 guys in that huddle offensively just seem to play better knowing they've got confidence in this game.
Just gets rid of the football, nobody to throw it to. It'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Release to the back. Caught. Deep in the season, that crisp air all around you, and this feels like a must-win game, guys.
This is a game that will impact the college football playoff. It'll have conference championship implications, and it'll have bowl game implications as well. David, so much riding on the line here.
Open runway ahead. Running inside the 20. He'll get that one all the way down to the 4-yard line before he stops. The Ducks racing to the line in a hurry up. They'll run it on 1st and goal. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Ducks!
And that is what a team of this caliber is expected to do, right? They've got a better number beside their name by all the metrics, by a talent standpoint, coaching standpoint. They're the superior team, and they just drove the ball on the first possession of the game, and they looked like scoring a touchdown and asserting their dominance.
And with the extra point, they get the first 7 of the game. Quick work on that scoring drive, just 4 plays. And they finish it off with a score from the 4. And he takes this from inside the 5. And the coverage team able to make the tackle. So the Ohio State Buckeyes offense will have its first possession of the game. I know what a weapon he is on the outside, but stretching the field against this dude in the secondary will be a challenge.
And just some safeties have it, the awareness, the ability to see the ball, to break on the football, and he's one of those guys.
This QB better be looking the safety off. You can't just trust your receiver's going to out-athlete him every time you throw him the ball, because this safety is a different breed.
You can barely hear yourself thinking here as they're trying to get this defense off to a good start. Wants to throw on 2nd down. He's moving out of the pocket. And the quarterback is sacked. There are penalty flags down, but this might be doubly bad for the offense. I think the penalty might be on them. They'll decline that penalty, obviously very happy with the results of the play. Listen to this crowd just shaking the girders of this place, trying to help their defense. On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Didn't have much of a choice, just had to throw that one away. It'll be 4th down. And the Buckeyes will put this one away. And see if he can help the coverage team out with this one. Makes a move. And you make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. Keeping it on the ground with the running back. Really nice pickup on that one as they get it to the 36. It'll be 1st down. Quick tempo here for the offense. No matter what uniform the Ducks are rocking, they are dressed for success on the ground.
Yeah, and that's who they are, right? They're dressed for success. They run the football, and then after that, what do? They run it some more, and they run it fast. Every Oregon team always been
Looking for the end zone. And it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. Couldn't make the connection on first down. Now here on second. Power football with the run.
And the running back didn't get much there. Nice job on the defense. You can tell they're focused in on this running back, on this run game, being physical, getting knockbacks, and limiting his carries.
Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Grab near the sticks. It's awesome. He knew exactly where he wanted to go with that one, and they've got enough for the first down. The Ducks look to keep this drive humming. The give to the tailback. And a good, solid pickup there before the defense knocks him down. Operating in the red zone here on second down. They'll try the run. He steps and powers and works his way. They finally get him down at the 2. And the Ducks want to pick up the tempo. A first down run on the doorstep. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Oregon!
And I like the running back's fish this season. Explodes through. He knows where the goal line is. Gets in the end zone. Gets 6.
Ready to try the point after. And the extra point makes it 14-0. So they take advantage of good field position and move it 46 yards. And finish the deal with the short touchdown run from the 2. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And they'll get him on the ground as the offense comes out to start the next drive. They've got him then deep in their own end, and this crowd trying to help keep them there. From the gun, he leaves it with the back. Not much there. They'll give him 1 to the 14. Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. He'll do it himself. That's what you expect from a senior. Don't give them any extra yards. Great tackle there. Better find the earplugs. Here comes the noise. Backing this defense on third down. From the gun, wants to pass. Shoots it to the left. Fires into traffic. Picked off. And he's wrapped up after a solid return on the pick.
When you come out with your own end zone, the shadow of your own end zone, a lot of bad things can happen. You want to kind of get a few first downs, get some space, so if you punt after that point, you can pin them a little bit deep. This is the exact opposite of what happened. Now you set them up in beautiful scoring field position already. Really bad play by the offense.
The Ducks are threatening on 1st and goal. Trying to pound it in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Ducks!
And the offense continues to run the football. The second rushing touchdown from the running back. The offensive line paving holes. Continue to feed this man the ball.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
2 very different emotions inside the locker rooms of these teams who did battle today. New Mexico State took care of business today. I think their coach had their intention all week, and the end result was a focused group of Lobos that fired on all cylinders. It's one game. You don't want to react too much either way, but I think both teams will leave this one with some things to work on moving forward.
Yeah, how about that? Sounds as if they had a good ball game there. Kevin, thanks for the update. He's got it again. Defense there to stop him after a 2-yard gain to the 31. A 3rd and long coming up here. From the gun, wants to pass. Trying to get to it. Just had to get rid of that one to save the yardage on third down. The Buckeyes will line up to punt it away. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Fields to punt. Wants to make a play. They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They'll christen this drive from the 28-yard line. They'll run the option. So runs like that can really help your field position as they're up at the 35. As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. On second down, looking to throw. He puts a lot of air under it down the sideline. And that one's going to be batted away incomplete, and we have played one. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. Man, that was an impressive and dominant first quarter. Let's take a look at the stats before we move on. Now facing a third down as they come back to the line after the break. Looking to throw for it. Quickly to the tight end. And he gets it done on third down. They move the chains and they'll mark it at the 44. The Ducks will snap it on 1st and 10. He's going to pass. He makes the connection. Found enough room to get it into enemy territory. They're down at the 43-yard line. And the Ducks in the hurry-up. It's not just a dual threat guy. You go back to Dan. Sends it downfield. And he's going to score. Touchdown, Oregon.
I love this tight end. Man, he's a weapon in the passing game. Big guy, big target, and he has a lot of ability after the catch. You saw it on that touchdown.
Lining up for the PAT. The kick is up and good and puts one more on the lead. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they close the deal for 43 yards out with a touchdown pass. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. From the gun, they'll try to impose their running game. Still running at the 40. And he was loose and not stopped until he gets to the 47-yard line. This first half of offense won't go on the highlight reel so far, but starting to get things moving, it's 1st and 10. Makes the grab. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Let's see what they've got on second down.
Second down coming up.
The back goes in motion. He's looking for an open man on second down. It's on target and complete. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker.
Well, the defense playing zone coverage there. They're taking away all of the QB's primary options down the field, so he has to check it down to the drag running underneath.
From the gun, he'll try to throw for it on third down. Breaks the tackle. Just outside the red zone as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 22. The Buckeyes are rolling down the field. They'll throw it on first down. A shot toward the end zone. Fires a bullet. Now it's picked off. And they capitalize not only on the pick, but on the great return to improve this field position.
You always try as a player to say the weather means nothing. Cold is a mentality. It hurts, okay? The ball feels like a rock. It gets super hard. It's really hard for quarterbacks to grip that thing and make accurate throws. And how about that? The defense comes out, makes a big play, creates the turnover.
After the 9-yard pickup on first down, here's 2nd and 1. Leaves it with the running back. They get him on the ground after he gets enough to move the sticks. The Ducks will hustle to the line.
It's a nice run there to get the first down. I got to tell you, I'm impressed with the stable of backs and the weapons this offense has. A lot of different guys can touch the football in a variety of ways, but they've been running it very, very well in this game so far.
Good spot after that 7-yard pickup on first down. It's 2nd and 3. The give to the back. Stopped at the 47 after a 10-yard gain. Here comes the offense on 1st and 10 from the 47. He's looking to throw it. Fires to the wideout. Finds a man in the middle. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
Stop me when you've heard this before. First down. First down. First down. Just continuing to put first downs together. So far, this defense just can't find any answers.
Inside the 25. They'll snap it from the 24. First down. As we reach the 2-minute warning, they'll need to try to get a stop to keep this thing from getting out of hand. It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Quarterback will audible. Might as well give it to him again. And he's almost to that first down marker there, saying he's a little bit short. They might want to bring out the sticks and measure, but it looks as if he'll be just short of the first down. On the option. Picks up the first down and gets down to avoid contact. The Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Going to the ground. Got some room, headed to the goal line. He almost punched it in for 6. They'll get him down at the 1-yard line. Trying to surge it in. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the field. Let's see which way that's going to go.
Offside, defense.
Yeah, and you see some people get upset with offsides in the defense. I call it the cost of doing business. It's just part of being great off the football. Sometimes you'll guess and...
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Ducks!
This defense is going to have to do a better job of being physical. That's 2 rushing touchdowns they've now allowed. They have got to be better close to the line of scrimmage.
And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. So a drive there of 85 yards. It was closed out by the short yardage touchdown. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. First down for this offense. Looking to move it through the air. On the run, fires downfield. And he throws another interception, his 3rd of the night. Touchdown, Oregon! How about that D coming up with a play like that? Look, I know it's only the 2nd quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these 2 teams right now.
No doubt, when your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happen for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point will tack another one onto this lead. They'll kick it off and send that defense right back out there to try to score again after the pick 6. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. Boy, they've been caught in a buzzsaw here in the first half, but maybe a chance to carry some momentum into the break here.
It all comes down to this drive right here, Reese. Obviously, this
The expressway is wide open. The 10. And he cruises his way to the house. Touchdown, Ohio State.
Man, nice job getting the passing game going. This is big, man. Going to the half, and listen, I know you're trailing, but building some momentum. Maybe this second half we keep airing the football out, cutting into this deficit, and who knows what the heck will happen.
They got the late touchdown on the board, now about to kick it away and hoping the defense can keep them from answering. Just never had a chance to shake loose, and he'll be brought down at the 24. get things started on this drive from the 24. Off the play fake on first down. Feeling some heat. It's complete on the right side. Finally run out of bounds, but he has this offense rolling with a first down. Quarterback making adjustments with his receivers. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection. Still on the 35-yard line after that incompletion. Here comes 2nd and 10. One back in the backfield. He gets the carry. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play. Wants to throw on 3rd down. Receiver looks it in. It's complete. And they'll finally get him down after a terrific pickup. And the Ducks come to the line in the hurry-up. Gets it out quickly. On the move at the 30. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Ducks!
Quarterback's ability to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation of timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times, touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him redirect.
On to attempt the try. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. So they got the touchdown, and as they kick off, really important for the defense to shut them down here. And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Trying to get the edge on the right. Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. Just enough time to get off one more snap. That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin in our halftime update.
Guys, a stirring start to things today in Eugene as we say hello from our broadcast studios. Talk about a first half from that dude out of the backfield. He's been a total game changer. And how many top plays moments have we seen on missed tackles alone? Video game moves from one of the shiftiest players in all of college football. And with that, let's send it back to the guys in Autzen Stadium.
The Ducks will kick it off to start the second half. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. What could go wrong did in the first half, and they start this third quarter at the bottom of the mountain.
Man, that was bad. That was a frying pan to the head. That was a TKO. It was awful in the first half. Flush it. I got to start doing something right. I got to find some positives. I get the ball first to start this possession, try to put a scoring drive together.
The only thing you can do at this point offensively is just make sure your best players are touching the football as often as possible. You recruited these guys. You got guys out.
And the quarterback bought some time, but not enough. Down he goes with the sack. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. Back to throw. It's Yaw. Oh, he gave him the dead leg. And they'll finally catch up to him, but not before a big chunk of yardage is picked up. And the Buckeyes will have it 1st and 10. They'll run behind the big guys on the right.
I don't like the play call. You're down this much against the best run defense in the entire country. You're just smashing your face against the wall. You're not going to get it done. To win this game, you're going to have to throw the ball to get back in it.
They're working that left side. They're able to get him stopped just shy of the first down marker. Ball just inside the 40 at the 39. It's third and short. Past the 25. And they'll finally bring him down after he rips off a huge play. And that big gainer on the last one has them threatening from inside the 10. He'll pull it on the read. He bullies his way all the way down to the 5-yard line. Second and goal for this offense.
It's now second and goal.
He'll run it up the middle, trying to pick his way to the end zone. And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Buckeyes! And the extra point is good. They put together an 81-yard drive, and they punctuated it with a 5-yard touchdown run.
49, Ohio State.
He'll call for the fair catch here. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Man, what a drive last time for the touchdown. That passing attack was time to take a shot. And it's caught inside the 30. Turns it on down the left side. Touchdown, Oregon! And the beatdown has ensued.
This offense looked unstoppable in the first half, lighting up the scoreboard, and it doesn't look much different here in the second half. They take their first drive in the third quarter, marching down the field and score. There's no end in sight for these guys.
They'll line up to go for two. Snap in the shotgun. He's got the two-point conversion, and they build on that lead. That kind of drive will boost your confidence. One play, hit the big pass, put a touchdown on the board. They're lining up to boot it away. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and... 25. Here comes the Ohio State offense onto the field. There's certainly still a hill to climb, but they've got to make sure these drives pay off. Got a touchdown last time. Can they back it up here?
Well, and it's amazing in a football game how sometimes they'll surprise you with what you do. Once you get settled and you realize what's going on, now I'm comfortable with it. Jesse, this offense looked comfortable in its last drive.
They sure did. It looked like they started to find some momentum. So now it's on this defense to stop that, all right? You're a little bit upset based on what just happened the previous drive. You got to bow up again and go back to what was working earlier in this game.
Not much doing there. He gets it to the 26, a gain of 1. Somebody needs to make a play here. It's third and long from the 26. Looking for a man. It's Shaw. It's complete to the right. He will step out of bounds, but not before the big pickup and a first down for this offense. A new set of downs after the completion.
For the offense.
Looking to go up top on first down. Can't quite make the connection there. Might have led him a little too much.
It leads to second down.
They'll go back to work after the incompletion. Here's second and 10 from the 36. He's looking to throw. This time on target. And he's brought down after a nice gain. You know this sophomore has a big arm, and there were some revolutions on that one. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. They'll try to keep that sack from wrecking this drive here on second and 15. They'll tell you that somebody's always going to pop open, but it didn't happen in time before they got the sack.
No, it did not. And you know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm going to remember zone defense. They didn't really have an answer. They weren't ready to get rid of the football. Quarterback hesitated. I got to him and got him on the ground. Might be a good call later on in the game.
Quarterback now breaking the field. And he can't find a receiver, and down he goes. The Buckeyes will send out the punt unit. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. Boy, that last touchdown, the one-play quick strike score. Jesse, this offense hoping to keep that kind of explosiveness going.
I don't know if they're going to get the same looks defensively because of just how explosive that play was, Reese. David, they may be seeing a little bit more off coverage on this drive and maybe some softer boxes to run into.
And when you make that kind of explosive play, you're going to put the defense on its heels. They're going to be a little bit more conservative. So this
Trying to get behind the defense. And the deep shot is complete inside the 35-yard line. Touchdown, Ducks! And the pummeling has started.
You know, sometimes as a play caller, you just don't have to think things. I've got a guy who's faster than your guys, and he's just going to run straight down the field. I'm going to throw it way down the field. He's going to make the catch, and we're going to score a touchdown, and that's pretty much what just happened there.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with the extra point, they push the lead out a little further. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
Guys, right back to your game after we update the nation on this one. Michigan proved it is battle-tested and capable of winning any place, any time after this one. And just think of the confidence this Wolverines team gained today. Invaluable, if you ask me. The circle of life in college football, where one team moves on feeling like kings and the other heads home licking its wounds.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. He's knocked down in the backfield. He'll lose a couple. Ball's at the 29. Defense can taste getting off the field. It's 3rd and long. Looking downfield, it's Shaw. He lets it fly. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down. The Buckeyes will call on their punt team. He's going to try to flip the field with this one. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Line gets set, 1st down. They'll run the option. He'll toss it. Couldn't find a lane, a pickup of 1 to the 31. Didn't get much on 1st down, it's 2nd and 9. The option look. That one did not go well. Tackled in the backfield for a loss of 6.
Well, good call by the defense there. They dialed up blitz into that running play, and the linebacker able to make the stop.
On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. He finds his man, and he's not going to get there. The defense stands tall and makes the stop.
Now, a 4th down.
Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. And as we switch ends of the field, let's take a quick look at the national rankings. They already have a comfortable lead, up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on 4th down. Keeps the legs moving. Tackled after picking up the 1st down.
Man, this offense would really like to lean on this guy in the 4th quarter, right? They've got the lead, and you just saw his ability there, breaking a tackle. He looks like he's getting stronger as the game goes on. I'd expect him to get a few more carries here before this game's over.
Finds the tight end. Really putting together a threat now. They get the 1st. It's at the 37. That throw and catch, a really good example of why particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open because you got so many guys that have so much.
And the quarterback was trying to extend the play, and the defense brought it to a close. They'll try to keep that sack from wrecking this drive here on 2nd and 15. He's looking to throw. Fires downfield. And incomplete on the deep ball. You have a big lead in the 4th quarter. When you do that, the only explanation for it is you're trying to send a message by sticking in another touchdown.
Yeah, in saying, listen, it's your job to stop him.
And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack. The Ducks will punt it away on 4th down. He'll try to really get into this one.
To kick it away.
First one's on its way. The leg ought to be strong. Only called on twice in the victory last week. And a precision punt there will pin the deep inside their own 10-yard line. The Buckeyes roll that offense back out there. If you want to look on the bright side, at least you can pile up a bunch of yards if you can move the ball because it is a long way to the end zone. Working that left side now. They make the stop, but this passing game does some damage, and they move the sticks with the first down. Fresh set of downs after the completion. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. And the incompletion brings up a 2nd down for this offense. Looking for a man. It's off. He wants to take the top off. And it's incomplete, going for the massive explosive play instead. They're looking at a 3rd down. They line up, and it is a long way to the sticks from here. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Tremendous awareness along the sideline and the ability to get the foot down for the big pickup. And the Buckeyes are marching down the field. Trying to find his man on 1st down. Zings it complete to the right. And that defense pushing him out of bounds after a short gain. Got some of the work done on 1st. Now let's see what they have on 2nd down. The aerial assault continues. The throw to the outside is complete. They make the stop after the catch, and still some work to do to pick up that 1st down. They have it at the 43, 3rd and short, trying to avoid making a decision on 4th down. Lofts one deep down the right side. And trying to put points on the board on 3rd down. Now they're staring at 4th down. The Buckeyes decide to punt it away. They may have to pay him overtime. He's punting for the 5th time today. Boy, they had a chance to track that thing down, but it bounces into the end zone for a touchback. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They'll have another opportunity to extend this lead after punting last time, David.
And it's important to put that punt behind you. It's over. Let it go. Get back to what you were doing that built this lead.
Yeah, and defense, obviously, they won a few downs that last drive, so we got to put them on their heels here. Maybe mix up a few personnel groupings and try to show them some pictures they haven't seen.
Knocked down at the 31 after a gain of 5. And they'll line up from the 31 on 1st down. They want that clock to run. Finds enough room to get 3 out to the 34. And the Ducks moving quickly to the line. He wants to throw here on 2nd down. He's got the back in the middle. They make the stop right there. Good pickup. It's still short of the 1st down. It's 3rd down now, and they ought to be able to get off one more play before the 2-minute warning. They'll try to bully their way for the 1st. And he's brought down after a nice gain. We've reached the 2-minute warning, and this offense will be quite content just to drain the rest of the time away. The give to the back. A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
And the defense is still fighting. They haven't had the day that they dreamed of. But, you know, talking to the coaches coming to the game, like they thought they had a good plan. They'd be ready to attack and limit some of the damage this offense has done. They haven't done it today, though. They got to go back to the drawing board, figure some things out, because this wasn't a great day.
Bully ball on 3rd and short. What a good run there. He has enough One-step wrap, two-step squeeze. This junior knows how to get him on the ground. After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Early movement on the offense, and they'll push it back 5 yards.
False start, offense.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. This offense has a 2nd down play. He's looking to throw. He's right on target. He's brought down, solid pickup, but a little bit short of the 1st down. Ball's at the 22. 3rd and short coming. Can the defense force him to settle? Lets it fly deep downfield. And give him another 6. Grabs him for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Talk about a breakdown in coverage. That might be the easiest catch he'll have all day.
It doesn't get much easier than that, except the hardest part about this is the walk to the sideline. Because then you have to justify what happened. Your defensive coach is going to be just a smidge upset that you left that guy wide open in the end zone for the big play.
And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. About to kick it off after punching it in for the touchdown. Here he comes from inside his own 5.
The return is brought down at the 19.
On 1st down, here comes this offense. Scanning the field, it's Shaw. Hit hard as he released the ball on that 1st down pass, and it never had a chance. After the misfire, now on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. Got a man. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. They'll snap this one from the 32. It's 1st down. He wants to throw. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. And that ball is picked off. Not only a great play, but tremendous discipline by this sophomore to make the pick.
And how about that? That's the first INT for this guy. Like, he's gone all throughout this year, taking care of the football, making plays, really building trust with his offensive coordinator. First mistake, hey, listen, put it behind you. You've had a great season so far, young man.
Hit hard just as he released it on 1st down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. He'll try it again on 2nd and 10. And it slips through his fingers, incomplete. That would have been a huge gain if he could have held on. They'll come to the line at the 42, facing a 3rd and long. Looking left. Makes a connection. And he was off to the races. Finally tripped up at the 36. The Ducks want to crank the tempo. Comes out throwing on 1st down. Unleashes one deep. It's incomplete, and they tried to finish this quarter with a bang and couldn't quite connect. This is what you're looking for when you have the better team. Go out and show it. Don't fool around with them. Go out and play to a standard of excellence.
Just dominate. You know you're going to take care of business. You know you're going to win. It's like how many? How many can I win by? And I like that you keep your foot on the gas and just continue to pile it on. It's their job.
will kick it away first. And he'll bring it out of the end zone. Nothing wrong with the touchback, and they wish they had one right now, but he stopped at the 9-yard line. So the Maryland Terrapins return team certainly didn't do the offense any favors there. Here he comes, and obviously defense is always going to be aware of a quarterback, but boy, he finds a way to put defenses on their heels all the time, David. And the quarterback goes down all the way back at his 4-yard line. The roar of the crowd trying to fuel this defense to keep them pinned in their own end. Leaves it with the back. Gives them a little more breathing room, a 3-yard gain out to the 7. This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting them know it's going to be a long day.
And it's a little close, a little too close for comfort, but I'll tell you what.
Timeout here as this coach is challenging the call. He wants to give the replay booth the chance to have another look. The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied and the timeout is gone. And the Terrapins will try to pin them back with the punt. 3 and out and not much choice but to get rid of the ball. Boy, that seemed to be prime return territory. Instead, he'll make the fair catch. So the Oregon Ducks offense has the ball for the first time. As dynamic as this guy is on the outside, Jesse, you know he's going to be cheating that way from his free safety position.
You're right, because as a quarterback, I just can't throw to my guy in the perimeter, right? I got to attack the middle of the field. The problem is you've got one of the best safeties in the nation who likes to lay people out.
Yeah, roaming the middle of the field, reading the quarterback's eyes, and he's got an eye on that receiver out there, too, that's dynamic. So let's see what kind of day he can have.
The Ducks hit it quickly to the line. The Ducks keeping this defense off balance. They can hit them from a variety of angles, this time going up top.
So many things to look at. You know, they've always traditionally gone fast as well in the past at Oregon, but, you know, the quarterback run and the run up the middle and then play action pass, they keep you guessing a lot, and they make a lot of plays down the field because your eyes are focused on something they shouldn't be focused on.
Deep shot for the end zone. And they can't hook up, going for the big play on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd down. They line up with some serious work to do if they want to convert this one. 3rd and long, and he'll try to throw for it. Finds his tight end. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has it on the doorstep. The Ducks trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. On the option. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Oregon. They'll try to tack one more on their score. And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Almost ready to kick it away after scoring the touchdown. On the move from inside his 5. Good job by the coverage unit to stop the return man. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. Wants to throw on 1st down. Makes his connection. He'll take 4 yards on 1st down every time, 2nd and 6. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And he's a real nowhere man tackled in this no-gain land. Decibels rising as the crowd gets behind this defense on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. Everybody needs a little luck, and the offense just got it by falling on that fumble. The Terrapins line up to punt it away. 3 and out, they got stuck in reverse. They hope the punt can bail them out. He's going to get loose. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. Looking for a productive play on 1st down. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. And he's lucky to get that one back. The junior quarterback knows better than to try try that too often. And after the incompletion on first down, this offense looking at second down. From the gun. Fires to the middle. And the pass hits, picked off. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Well, the free safety's just sitting back there deep in cover 3. He's got zone. He's got middle field responsibility. Just watching the quarterback's eyes. He reads the throw, breaks on it. That's just too easy for him.
Throws to the wideout. He's got it. And he's down at the 41. That's a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. They want to run it left here. Not a whole lot of progress made there on the short run. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. He's looking to throw. Fires to the big fella. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. Just this side of midfield, the defense trying to rise up on third and short from the 49. They'll try to run for it. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one. And the Terrapins send out the front unit. A fairly short distance here toward the sidelines, not his best work. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. After that last pick, David, they really need to take care of the ball this time.
No doubt. And Palmer, I want to know what Spurrier said to you on the sideline after a pick.
Do that again, and you'll be right here beside me for the rest of the game. You got to go out. You got to call your plays. And I hope this coaching staff isn't going to be afraid to throw it this drive.
And offenses want to continue to feature the run. They want balance. Even if it's not super successful, you can take it little bit at a time just to keep that defense honest.
Good pickup on the ground, and they'll mark him down at the 39. On the option. And boy, is he close to that first down, maybe just a couple of inches short. They're in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, and this is why you square your prominent jawline and go straight ahead to get him. To the 43-yard line and a first down for this offense. That time they were in their own territory. That took some lower intestinal fortitude.
Definitely did. And listen, if that's what you're going to be, that's who you're going to be. You're going to be that kind of offense and be aggressive, then stick with who you are. And apparently, nowadays, going forward on your own end, it really ain't nothing anymore.
Didn't get much on first down in 2nd and 9. Looking deep down the right side. And the incomplete pass taking a shot on 2nd down, and they'll be left with a 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Works the middle. And oh, he was off to the races after the catch, and they finally drag him down. He'll come out throwing on first down. Fires toward the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Ducks!
Hey, how about the offense? They spread them out. Everybody spread wide. Easier to read the defense when you do that. They find the matchup they want, and they get rewarded with the score.
And the extra point makes it 14-0. Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. They came out and jumped on them early in the first. Let's take a break and look at the first quarter stats. Kickoff team has the ball teed up, and they're about ready to go. And they desperately wanted to attempt a return, but decided not to. Instead, they'll take the touchback. They'll start the drive here with first down to open this period. These quarters going to give these receivers some space. Oh, he had him right down the middle, and it just squirted right through his fingers, and they miss an opportunity for a nice play on first down. Out of the gun to give to the back. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27.
And sticking to the run. I tell you what, a lot of teams that are really good are really stubborn, and they continue to run the football even with little success. So this offense is going to continue to focus on run.
He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And it's intercepted. A turnover for the defense. Got some room to run. What a play he made. Makes the interception, then takes it back to the 36.
Not all DBs make the play at the end, right? They can bat the ball down, they can be in position. They don't really secure the football. Great job on the DB, securing the football and forcing the turnover.
The RPO, it's complete. Brought down at the 26-yard line after a pickup of 10 yards on the play, and it'll be a first down.
And a big key on that throw to the slot receiver, guys, is putting the ball out in front. The location of the throw is what helped that guy get extra yards after the catch.
Finds his man in the middle. They make the stop, but not before they do their work up top and pick up a first down. Here's the handoff. Snowed under after a pickup of 2. They'll mark it at the 8. Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. Try to get the edge with a quick touch pass. And this one will be stopped for no gain. A third and long here. They can't pick up the first down without getting the touchdown. Handoff to the single back. And they're able to get a third down stop here. See if they go for it on fourth. Perhaps emboldened by converting a fourth down earlier in the game, they'll try a second time. Try to get it on the ground. And he takes it in for a score. Touchdown, Oregon!
Hey, how about this offense? A big situation on 4th and goal. Trust your running back. Trust your offensive line. You trust the physicality of this unit, and they reward that trust, and they punch it in for 6.
About to kick it away after scoring the touchdown.
Maryland, 0.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Maryland has the ball back and the Terrapin offense ready to go. They just haven't been able to get anything going, and they better get started or it's going to get away. And the heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. These guys are bringing serious heat. They are like sharks swarming and just getting after the passer. They bring him down, and he's going to lose a yard on that one.
I think the offensive coordinators over there going, thank goodness we don't play them everywhere. This defense has been suffocated. This offense got to find something moving forward that they can hang their hat on, some kind of identity. Today they were shut down.
Ball in the air, intercepted. Just a small return, but a big play as they have it down to 45.
And when it's 3rd and so long, it's very predictable. Bringing more DBs on the field, bringing more speed. I know you're going to pass the football. Offenses have to be aggressive. They have to take shots. They did it there. The defense makes the big play.
Excellent job working through the air. They're finding a hole in that defense and picking up a first down.
Ooh, that's a nice throw. Great accuracy there. And when you think about Oregon quarterbacks, I know we think about guys running around a little bit, but think back to guys like Dan.
He caught it. Stop at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a first and goal.
And that's why this guy's a complete running back. He's good between the tackles, he can pass block, but he can also run routes. And we're not just talking...
And he takes it to the house. Touchdown, Ducks! Well, somebody's been doing their box jumps.
You ain't lying. Getting up in the air. Hey, listen, I'm taking a picture of that, saving it. That might be my screensaver on my phone. That vertical way up in the air.
Lining up to cover the kick after that touchdown drive. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. After throwing the pick on the last drive, need to take care of the ball this time, Jesse.
We're going to find out a lot about this quarterback right here, too. How does he fight through adversity after that last drive?
Yeah, clear the mechanism, move on. That's a part of it, right? If you're going to be a great player, you got to learn how to handle these mistakes and move on.
Dialing up a second down pass play. And those two couldn't make the connection. It's an incomplete pass. Big third down coming from their own 31. Defense tries to get off the field.
Well, that's one the offense would love to have back. That's a play they practice over and over and over. They feel like...
What a snag by the defense. Taking it the other way. Touchdown, Oregon. The defense puts 6 They'll try to add another to their lead. And with the extra point, the lead is even bigger. They're about to kick it away, and the defense probably can't wait to get back out there after the pick six. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Maryland has the ball back, and the Terrapin offense ready to go. Well, the good news is they threw a touchdown pass last time. It was just to the wrong team, Jesse.
Well, that's an unfortunate part of the game for quarterbacks.
And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17. This pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. Looking to throw on second down. Fires to the tight end. They bring him down, but a solid pickup to put them in position to pick up a first down. The Terrapins want to move quickly. On third and long, trying to have a big completion here. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Defense swarming on that loose ball. It'll be a turnover.
You know, as quarterbacks, you've got to be good in the pocket. Even when things are collapsing, you've got guys swiping at it. You've got to have two hands on the football. Didn't do a really good job with ball security there, and that led to the fumble.
Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7. Tried to pound it on first down. Now back to the line. They'll leave it with the lone back. And they'll stop it just short of the first down, just inches away from moving the sticks. Trying to pick it up on the ground. He is tackled, but it'll be a fresh set of downs. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total. Touchdown, Ducks! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. Well, then they have to give this guy a homestead exemption in the end zone. He spent so much time in there, and we're not even at halftime.
I've lost count. I don't know if that's probably a stat sheet in front of you. But goodness gracious, that's at least 3 that I can remember. So he's having a heck of a day.
And they thought about a return, then thought better of it. They'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. They find themselves in a pretty deep hole here, but maybe a chance to grab a little momentum and regroup at halftime. Snags it down the right side. And a pickup of better than 30 yards on that completion before the defense brings him down.
At the 33. First down for the offense.
To the air on first down. Throws for the tight end. Fires into traffic. It's picked off. No room to return, but no problem after making a play like that, and they'll have it at the 25.
And I tell you what, when defenses play zone, all eyes are on the quarterback. You have a zone to drop to, but you're setting on the quarterback, reading his eyes. Great job by the defense, understanding the ball was coming out, breaks on the football, goes and makes the INT.
Wisely avoiding the big hit with the slide. Now from the 36-yard line, it's 1st and 10. He's going to pass. Makes the grab. And they're getting it rolling with that play to the 42-yard line. This offense absolutely humming as they come to the line again. They'll throw it on first down. Got his man. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down. And the Ducks will hustle to the line. Going up top on first down. Finds his man. It's awesome. He's run out of bounds, but not before. Turning in a big pickup and moving the sticks for a first down. The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. They'll throw it on first down. And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Oregon! lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point just tacks a little bit more onto this huge lead. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And the score comes on a 12-yard touchdown pass. The kickoff team takes the field to boot this one away. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. Clock reads 11 seconds here in the first half. We'll see if they're content to regroup at halftime. They'll leave it with him. Good, solid run on that one as he gets it up to the 33-yard line. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Looking to throw on second down. And the defense is all over the quarterback, and down he goes. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. And the Terrapins will kick it off to start the second half. On the run from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Trying to set the tone with the run. Stacked up after gaining a couple to the 23. Picked up 2 yards on that last one. They need 8 on second down. He's looking to throw. Just too much mustard on that one. Can't miss the target that badly.
I love the decision by the quarterback. He found the open man, just don't love the throw. Got to be a little bit more accurate, make it easier on your target.
At the 35, he's got room. They'll keep this drive moving by picking up the first down. They have it at the 36. They're going to ride this running back. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
And that pass picked off. Not a lot on the return, but they can live with that as they've got it at the 49. First down here for the offense. From the gun, the running back has it. And I think they'll give him 2 on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up. Kept it on the ground on first down. Now back to the line. Using his legs, it's Flanagan. They make the stop, and this running game moves the chains as they get the first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Pulls and fires complete. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. They ran it on first down, now on second. The play action fake. And they get the sack right out of the gate.
The defense just simply not fooled by the play action. Oftentimes in offense, you're hoping the run fake's going to slow down those pass rushers, but man, oh man, they had their ears pinned back.
On 3rd and long, he's going to have to turn one loose downfield. They play that screen nicely. He tried to find his way to the marker, but it'll be 4th down. They'll try to put 3 on the board as the field goal unit comes on. It's good. He hit that one right down the middle. Well, they got 3 back, but that's about all you can say about it. After putting up a 3 spot, the kickoff unit set to go.
Set to kick this one away.
Not going to risk a return here. He'll make the fair catch. And Oregon has it back, and here comes the offense. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. He'll pitch it. Finds that crease, and he's got 4 out to the 29. After the productive first down play, it's 2nd and 6. They go to the ground. Steamrolls his way ahead. Finally pulled down, but not before. Moving the chains for a first down. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. He's looking to throw it. Got him downfield. That's where they'll mark him. A very productive play and a first down. The Ducks come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Handoff to the lone back. Not a whole lot of room there. 3 yards maybe, 2nd and 7.
It's just so nice to know you can start off on first down with positive plays. Positive yards, hand the football off, set up a good second down.
Touch pass on the jet sweep. Brought down at the 28. A chunk play, 15 yards on that one, and a first down.
I love that play call, and I love the timing of the pre-snap motion. Because the quarterback was able to get it to the receiver right behind the offensive line, because of the timing, he was able to outflank the defense. That puts him out in space where he's able to use his speed. Nice job with the pre-snap motion and timing.
Time has expired here in the quarter, and Oregon has the lead. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Looking to move it through the air. Touchdown, Ducks! And the punishment has been extended. The kick is up and good, and put one more on the lead. He thought about bringing that out for a half second, but he'll take a knee and they'll bring it to the 25. Maryland has the ball back and the Terrapin offense ready to go. David, they couldn't pay off that last drive with a touchdown.
Now they moved the ball down the field and executed like they wanted to until they stalled out and had to settle for a field goal.
I think if you want to take the next step, too, here and score a touchdown, you got to start finding more creative ways to get your best players the ball. Let's see if they can do that here.
Last incompletion leaves them still sitting at their own 25 with 2nd and 10. Fires to the big fella. He's really close to that first down marker, but they stop him just a bit short. It'll be 3rd and short from their own 33. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Pressure in his face, and he lets it fly. The little soft flip pass falls incomplete. The Terrapins will bring the punt team onto the field. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. He gets a block. He'll get it up to about the 44-yard line before they slam the brakes on him. The Ducks ready to go back to work on offense. How about that last drive? Just carved him up in the air, David.
Yeah, and how about that quarterback? You gave him the ball, and he delivered the goods. Great job taking apart the defense, Jesse, on that last drive.
He really did, David. I mean, that was a masterclass in just reading coverage and being accurate.
Nowhere to run on that one. He loses 4 on the carry. A chance to sort of put the defense on its heels if you convert a 3rd and long. This one from the 44. Fires to the wideout. He's got an open man. A quick tackle made, but he's got plenty for the first down. All wideouts, no backs. Looking to go up top on first down. Going for it all. And they dialed up a shot play, but they couldn't make the connection.
This reminds me of the guy I used to play for in college down in Gainesville, the head ball coach. He used to like to do this. He would have big leads in the 4th quarter. He was still letting his QBs throw it deep down the field.
They're bringing heat. Now he's going to glide away from pressure. Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down. If they can convert here, that type of play can really give you a shot of momentum. Quick completion on the out. He's run out of bounds, but a big play on that one, and it'll be a first down. The Ducks are moving quickly down the field. Wide receiver now comes in motion. He'll just keep slinging it. He's got his man.
And quarterback dropping back, understanding I'm getting zone coverage. All I got to do is be a little bit patient, manipulate that defense a little bit. My wide receiver runs that drag, and I get the first down.
He's back to throw on 2nd down. That pass is incomplete, and they might be fortunate it wasn't knocked free for a fumble. It'll be third down. Now this offense tries to figure out a way to move the chains after the second down misfire. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. And it's incomplete, and the defense holds.
You know, there are a lot of people watching this game that are thinking to themselves, where's the sportsmanship? You're blowing this team out. Why are you going for it on fourth down? Why not just punt, give it back, and just leave here with a W? That's because this coach wants his guys to keep executing. I played for a coach in college that would have done the same thing. If backups are on the field, they get an opportunity to run your playbook, so let them do it. At the end of the day, you've got to force the opponent to stop. And that's what they're doing. That's the mindset. I got to be honest, I like it.
All the way out to the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 15. Trying to find his man on first down. Quick strike complete. Now on second down. He's looking to throw. Fires on the move. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. And they reacted well to the completion, but it was too late to keep him from getting the first down. He wants to throw. They're trying to get to it. And this sophomore able to wreak some havoc and get the sack.
And that's exactly what this defense needed. They needed to have something positive. Giving up some yardage, they've given up some plays, no big deal. Got him.
And here comes the pressure, and there he goes down again.
The offense just set themselves up in a bad situation on this one. Second and third and long, there's not a lot of guesswork. Defense knows they're throwing the football, and you could tell on that pass rush, man. They were...
And here's a fumble way behind the line. Defense coming up with a huge fumble recovery. And the quarterback just ran out of time there, and they were able to knock it free.
Quarterbacks have got to do a great job keeping two hands on the football, especially in passing situations like that, because you know defenders are swatting at the ball, even if you can't see them. These guys, they're 6'5", 6'6", they've got long arms. They're trying to rip and tug away and get that ball out of your hands. A QB will learn from this play. He's got to do a better job of his fundamentals.
Pulls it and fires to the left. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. If this quarterback gets through his progression, David, gets you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Here comes the Maryland offense back onto the field. At this point, it really hasn't been your best day. Just try to find something to build on here at the end, David.
Nah, just try to keep fighting. Show your kids you're going to keep fighting, keep throwing the football, try to get some points up. Palmer, points have been at a premium. They haven't scored very much, but keep fighting, man.
Yeah, and just, you know, try to find things to build off of for next week as well.
Fires the pass, intercepted. Takes it the other way. Oh, you could just feel it. He wanted to make that a big return, but his offense will come out and take over at the 44. Line gets set, first down. He's gonna pass. Quarterback strolling away from Heat. Complete downfield. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening. Comes out throwing on first down. He just throws it away, and I think the flag's going to be coming, and there it is. So the decision has been made, and the coach will take the penalty. And after this play, the cake will be baked. On second down, wants to throw. He'll take a shot. Incomplete. He took a shot on the final play of the quarter and couldn't quite find his man. When you get this deep in the season and that 0 is still in the lost column, that target on your back just gets bigger and bigger.
And some people handle it better than others. We've seen some teams melt late in the season, and we've seen other teams thrive on it and embrace it. So this team's so